Welcome to Perpetual Backlog Podcast, the gaming podcast catered for you to listen and get through that pesky backlog of yours. With hosts like Aqua, I have no idea what I'm doing, Dalit Duskwhite,
Come for the games, stay for my friends trying to kill me with their horrible puns,
and Leek Whipple.
Hey, this is Leek coming at you with a funny one-liner that I've been ordered to record, but the joke is I can't think of anything, so yeah, finger guns, pew pew, totally cool.
Alright, Dalit, what adventure rank are you?
Well, funny you should mention, over the weekend I finally did ding 40 on Genshin Impact, so it's pretty nice getting 5-star drops off bosses. Now I just need them to not be bad and we're all set.
I'm nowhere near that. I haven't touched Genshin in like 2 weeks.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
well,
Because of the WoW?
No. Well, yeah.
No.
But no.
Yeah, or no, okay.
we believe you. We believe you.
I don't have a problem. You have a problem.
Eh?
Yeah, you're not wrong.
I'm still like rank 26. I've been chugging along quite nicely at my own pace.
Hey, we were able to do some stuff together this weekend.
Yeah, we worked out. Oh, no, tell them what you worked out, because we found out that the higher ranking person can always visit anyone.
Yeah.
But it's just the lower rank that are restricted.
Yeah, I have no idea.
It makes sense. I would probably die in your world right away.
Yeah. I have no idea why I had it in my head. I must have read it somewhere. That you had to be of similar adventurer rank to visit each other. But no, higher person can always just go to the lower person's world. No problem.
Did you guys do the event?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
I was desperate for XP, those XP seals, wherever they are. I was like, please help me.
The event itself wasn't much to talk about. It was
it wasn't.
Yeah. It was essentially you and three of your new best friends get together and kill the absolute hell out of some hillachurls. And you're rewarded with experience tickets, or if you choose not to redeem them, nothing.
Oh.
Oops.
Maybe I should have done that
yeah.
because I need experience tickets.
Yeah, well, I'll get to that a bit later.
Okay.
Yeah, I was desperate. I was running out. I have run out again. So I'm like, open the chest, do the quest. But yeah, no, it was okay, the event. Of course, there was inevitable connection issues. I saw one person running on the spot throughout the whole thing. That was interesting. It's just Luke being edgy, I suppose.
I went to Luke.
Yeah, well, neither me nor Leek had him, so...
No.
Oh, if I had the Luke, it'd be easy mode.
Hey, I'll tell you what,
that.
though. I did like his story quest, and the action cutscenes with Diluc are awesome.
Yeah, they dote on him.
He's Batman.
He's absolutely Batman.
They were so well choreographed.
He's Batman with the flaming sword.
It. Yeah, no, it was cool.
I wonder which character they want you to think is really cool and flock out to buy.
Totally not the Luke.
I like him more than Kay, though. Kay can be a bit of an annoying dude.
Yeah.
Or Kai, or whatever his name is.
I think it's
He
Kaya.
seems more.
Yeah.
He seems more smug.
I don't like him. I only use him because he's my only ice character.
Yeah, same.
I have Chung Yoon.
Yeah.
You have Chung Yoon? Okay.
I have Chung Yoon.
But
yeah, it's funny that you should have brought up the event that was there. There had been an event happening over the last week, and I have some thoughts on that. But suffice it to say that it came a bit early, and I largely didn't make use of it. And otherwise, it was just not a benefit to me at the time. Now, like today, would have been a great time to have it.
Oops.
But alas, leveling didn't play that way. At least I was able to play with Leek, so that's fun.
I hoard things. I must hoard them. I'll inevitably need them in the future, so I just hamster away loads of things as much as I can. I have so many fucking daikon I don't even need. Daikon come out of my ears.
I have a question though. Because I didn't I didn't touch the event. Like I said, I haven't played. So you get experience tickets that you like have to use right there for your characters?
No,
okay.
No. Thankfully,
okay.
no.
So why would the event be good today?
Or now?
It kind of plays into
a wider issue with Genshin happening.
Mm-hmm.
So, on the topic of leveling, let's talk about the issue first.
Mm.
It seems Genshin has garnered some minor ill will from the free-to-play crowd that wants to be at those later levels.
Yeah.
And it's the resin system. The resin system is the system the game employs for stamina, let's call it. Instead of just making it so that you don't have to play, or don't get to play, you can play as much as you want, but you can only reap the rewards as long as you have resin.
Yes.
This is true.
Exactly. So the community has taken issue with the low amount of resin. 120 just isn't enough. Its slow recharge rate, I think it takes like 14 or 15 hours to fully recharge.
Yeah, you get like one every 8 minutes, I think.
Something like that. And
Yeah.
honestly, it's just the lack of ways of getting it. Because you only have fragile resin given to you per level up at the moment.
Yeah.
Is it just one each level up?
No, it's 2 or 3 depending on the level. And I think there might be a couple of story quests that do give you some.
Yeah, I think there's a few.
Yeah, I've been using those sparingly, thankfully. I haven't really...
Yeah, no, they'll
That's
really
smart.
be what pushes you over the hump later on. And this lack of resources is really being called out as a means of gatekeeping or slowing down player progression. And I can't really say that it's untrue, as getting past those level 30 areas, like 30 to 40, is really, really rough. And you do absolutely want to be 40 for those 5-star drops.
I'm going to play a little bit of devil's advocate here and be
Go on, then.
Okay.
It's a mobile game that's what happens in mobile games. You get
and
gatekeeped
that's true
later on. So
yeah,
you either have to use Prima Gems or like the premium items, or you use your fragile resin that you gain for doing levels.
And you're absolutely right. The game does provide a few ways around this, kind of.
Yeah.
You do have, first and foremost, before we even get to the resources you could spend to get your resin back, you can just farm chests to level.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do this, and I'm still dubious that chests respawn as much as people say they do.
It's definitely proven that they respawn as much as they do.
Yeah, they do. They do respawn. I think some people have perhaps gone a bit overboard on how quickly it happens.
True, probably.
Because I definitely have found chests in areas I've been through already, and it's not chests that I otherwise would have ignored. Still, chests only give out 10 points of experience in Mondstadt and 20 in leeway, with some additional bonus experience depending on the rarity of the chest.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, farm away, as every last point helps, but oof, it's a hard way to go when you need thousands of experience to level.
That's true.
Yeah.
Now, the other way you have correctly identified. I mean, you can refresh your resin via your Prima Gems. Again, I didn't do this. No. I want all of the characters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it is a valid... Gems, yeah, but it's a valid and I think expected way of enhancing progression at some point. Because you can... They do limit it. You can only do it 6 times. Mm-hmm. And each time, I think, requires 50 Prima Gems. But, I mean... World bosses give out 200 experience a pop. It's much better than a chest farm. It's just a much steeper cost.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is the part that really frustrates players that can't or don't want to spend money. Because at this point, saying pay to win is inaccurate in a single player game, but it is certainly pay to progress.
Oh, that's okay.
I'm
hoping I don't feel the bite of this because I am so casual when it comes to this.
And
I already have a bias against gacha, so I'm like, yeah, I'm going to try and stay away from those elements, enjoy what I want to interact with.
It's mainly for people that play like super hardcore. They're gonna run out of resin real fast. They're gonna run out of fragile resin real fast. They're not gonna want to use their Prima Gems to to refresh their resin because Primogens are obviously better to use for getting the characters.
Does it? Because I know there are folks who really like to do like achievement hunting as well. Does it affect those folks too?
No, I don't think so. Anyway, you're still allowed to be out and about in the world. You can still fight all these bosses. You just can't collect the
rewards
drops. And honestly, there's so much other collection to be doing in this game that doesn't require resin. So.
I have a solution that MiHoYo could employ if they do want to do it. They either have to increase the amount of resin you store up, or probably lower the cost for certain things. Like, I honestly feel like, it's like 40 resin to beat, like, to gain the stuff out of the world boss, right?
Yeah, with the exception of Big Doggo and Dragon, which are 60.
Yeah. I feel like that's a little too much.
I agree with you. I think it's entirely just the numbers game.
Yeah. That was my problem with doing that, because I'd have to go back, because I would go back and forth between fighting the electrostasis and then the cryo plant.
Sure.
Just to go through my resin battle pass. And while that's good because I can get through my resin battle pass pretty quickly because they cost 40 resin, I can see that, like, with the items that it really gives you out of it, which is like maybe five different types of like materials or artifacts or whatever, I don't certainly feel like it's worth the 40 resin. And I can see, like, I feel like they should lower it to be like maybe ley lines be 10 resin. Those world bosses, other than the dog and the dragon, be between 20 and 30 resin, and then have the dog and the dragon be 40 resin. Because I feel like that makes a lot more sense. And then what are the dungeons? The dungeons are what, 10 res or 20 resin?
I think the dungeons are also 20, yeah.
Okay. I see.
I feel like that should be what they do, but I'm not 100%.
It's a better balance, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you said, it really is a numbers game. But more importantly than just getting items, it's also about people wanting to play the game. There's folks like me who I don't care if I run out of resin. I'm sitting in this game. The music's great. I like the aesthetic, and honestly, I just go around and farm drops off the mobs.
Yeah.
But there are people who, I mean, like, it's a vocal part of the community that's hit this wall, where the game is no longer about being rewarded for exploration. There's no story for like a month, and resources are finite. For them, the game has devolved into what all gacha games inevitably come down to: daily chores and out.
Yeah.
They log in, they grab their commission, spend their resin, and they leave. And perhaps on paper not an ideal situation, it is the norm. But MiHoYo has heard the community and seems to be wanting to hear more from the players. So they've sent out a survey in-game, and the official forums are open, and now we'll see if they'll actually address it, or if they're willing to take that hit to the player base between content and wait to see, maybe after 1.1, see if people come back. After all, lapsed players might come back for that waifu or husbando.
Yeah.
I wonder if they'll like up the dev team as well if it becomes this popular for a long period of time. They'd have to develop something for a longer term.
I feel as if that would kind of go against their plan.
Oh yeah.
I have this issue where I don't really like calling Genshin Impact a mobile game per se. It's definitely a gacha game.
Yeah.
But I don't know about a mobile game. This is very clearly designed to be something a bit
this is why
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking this.
Yeah, but at the same time, I kind of feel they do want to keep to that mobile budget or the mobile dev budget. Just get as much money in return for as hard as they can push this group of people. I think realistically, seeing the impact, puns aside, seeing the profit that can be attained from it, I think they should. But it's hard to say whether they will.
Yeah.
They may not
this
feel
is
the
fair
need
say.
to.
Yeah. Okay. Is there anything you looking forward to, like, or you want?
I mean, I'm 40. 40 was kind of my goal for adventure rank, so now I can just chill and do my daily stuff and farm mobs and be happy. I'd really have liked that event stretched out another week, because I think now where I'm at that goal I've set for myself, game goes up to 60. I have no interest in getting there right now. 40. Now I feel like I can go and really put time into all these other characters I'm interested in, but didn't want to mess with beforehand. So I'm looking forward to like the next event more than anything. I'm also interested to see if this was their first shot at a co-op event. Will all co-op events be like this, or are they actually going to make changes? Are we going to see something a bit more substantial next time?
Yeah.
I'm
hoping the servers will improve too, because it was pretty
Yeah,
pretty
it was
bad
sketchy.
at some point. Yeah.
It was well, when it was bad, it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
There was a new banner that came out today, right?
Is it today?
No, it didn't come out today.
Thought it was
For you and me, Aqua, it comes out tomorrow.
I thought it was. Oh, I must have been somebody.
You are right that Venti ended today.
Yeah.
There is a short period of time where there is no banner. Well,
Yes.
no special raid up banner.
Well, I was looking my time last night when you guys were in bed, and it has gone. It went then.
Yeah.
It's
So now we wait the extra day for Klee, and I believe the 3-4 stars alongside her were, oh god, why have I done this? I don't know. Sucrose, Noel, and Shinkwe.
I might
Yes,
I might
I
pull
believe
on
so.
that banner just to get those one of those 4 stars. Because I don't have Shinkwe.
I'll be honest, I don't use Sucrose despite thinking she's adorable, but my goodness, her and Shinkwe do so much work for me from an alchemy standpoint.
You missed a trick there. You should have said sweet.
No.
Yeah, you should. Come on.
I don't think so. It was bad enough that I said impact. But yeah, no, like their alchemy purposes, where they might trigger and give you back some of the ingredients you put in, is excellent.
Oh, sweet. Sweet.
Klee's supposed to be. Oh. Klee's supposed to be amazing, and I think she's adorable, but that's a hard pass for me.
What is Klee?
Already.
Like, what's
Klee is like this tiny, couldn't be more than 10-year-old pyro-based mage.
Okay.
Yeah, and
People keep calling her a terrorist. Does she explode things?
She
what
does.
I'm imagining.
No.
Big damage.
You go. Okay.
She chucks bombs, yeah, and she does big damage.
That's good.
Big damage.
At least she did in the tryout event they had at the beginning of the game. I thought she was excellent.
Cool.
Like a hop one and do the little try thing that they allow you to play them at 80.
And there'll be another one, yeah, exactly, at level 80 this time, coming with the banner. So you'll be able to try out everyone. You'll have some little reward for doing it. Also, there's a new sign-in campaign going on, so definitely take that up if you can.
I should do that. I should actually sign in, because I haven't signed in like a week, so I should have like a crap ton of backlog mail.
Yeah, at least do that.
Yeah.
You can peel away yourself from WoW.
Oh yeah. Don't.
How's that going?
So I'm 40. I'm 40 now, I think. As of
there's a theme here.
As of last night, yeah. I'm pretty sure I'm 40. I had to stop leveling in Northrend because I was questing in Northrend before the pre-patch. By the way, pre-patch came out. I dropped from level 75 to 28 because they did the whole stat level HP damage squish for Shadowlands. Which is nice. Everything still scales the same way. I'm still doing this pretty much the same. I'm not doing like the same amount of damage, but I'm doing the scale of the same amount of damage compared to what I was like doing to enemies that were scaled up to level 75 to me. So that's nice. But I was questing in Northern before the patch, and what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to go talk to Chromie, which is like somebody that deals with time. I don't know. I actually don't know the lore behind Chromie. That's like one of the lore things I actually don't know. And Chromie sends you back in time to do quests in an area that either may not have done before or just wanted to do.
Is Chromie the little
it's the gnome
wizard that is also a spoiler?
Yeah.
Okay, I know who you're talking about now.
So I went to Chromie, but like when I did the whole time walking thing, it pretty much it'll like reset your quest, so you have to go back into the beginning of Northern and then like quest through all that again. And I was like, I literally finished the first region of the Wrath of the Lich King, and I was like, you know what, I'm not going to do this. So I hit level 35, and that's when everything started not scaling with me anymore. Everything started staying like at level 30, or the elites were at level 32.
Right.
So I was like, okay, well, after the patch came up, by the way, if you didn't buy Battle for Azeroth, Battle for Azeroth automatically gets rolled into the immediate collector's pack, which is everything before the newest expansion. So if you just had a sub to the game and had like Legion or whatever, you automatically got Battle for Azeroth. So I didn't have to worry about buying that. So I just immediately started doing the BFA storyline, which is actually not that bad. You start out. I didn't do any of the Legion story, so whatever happened at the end of Legion going into BFA, I'm not too versed on, outside of Sylvanas doing a bunch of fuckery in Lordaeron.
Of which there was plenty.
Yeah.
Given how well received Legion was, I'm surprised to see you didn't take a whack at it.
Well, I played the beginning of Legion, so
okay.
I knew what that was, but I didn't want to go through the beginning of Legion again. And like eventually I'll go through and I'll do all the quests and all that crap. But I'm currently doing BFA because that's what's giving me the most experience. After like 10 to 15 quests, I'm already up. I already go up a level, so it takes me like 10 to 15 quests to get a level. Because most quests give me anywhere between 4,000 to 6,000 experience, which with the squish is like a couple of bars. So that's nice. So I'm like leveling up pretty fast, and the story for BFA starts out pretty nice. I'm playing a Jernai, so I'm doing Alliance stuff, and you get called to Stormwind to talk to Anduin, and they're preparing because Sylvanas is like doing a bunch of fuckery because she always does a bunch of fuckery, and there's some shit going on with the Zandalari trolls that are like attacking people, and then fucking Jaina's like, maybe I'll go talk to my family, which hate her. So you travel with her to the Coltiris, where she's from, and you immediately get captured and thrown into jail because they really hate Jaina there.
Exciting.
Because she like betrayed them, and yeah, you get thrown into jail. She's like accepted that she's supposed to die, and then you get broken out of jail, and you start questing there. That's pretty fun. Like, there's a lot of cool mechanics with some of the quests. There's a lot of these like war campaigns that happen, which like if you're on the Alliance side, you have to fend off like a bunch of horde invasions of like into Coltiris. So that's nice. I've been having fun with it. I've been leveling. I'm just leveling so I can get the max level and then go back into a crap ton of old content without having to worry about it. Worry about like doing stuff. I don't know if I'll ever like
soloing it.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll ever do like current content rating in that, because well, for one, I already have to rate in 14, so I don't feel like worrying about another MMO. Not to mention, I'm not like too in depth with like the gameplay of WoW, because it's kind of, I wouldn't say it's difficult, but it's a lot to like really sink into, and like a lot of mechanics are just, WoW has this weird thing where it's like after playing 14, you kind of get used to mechanics being a certain way, and WoW just doesn't show you mechanics. You just kind of have to know what to do. Which, I mean, for some people, they like that. It's like a little harder, but there's not very many good like telegraphed stuff to really understand what's going on, and that's why people ask you to have Deadly Boss mod on, so the game tells you what to do, which is pretty much for 14 it's triggers. So I mean, I'm having fun with that. It's definitely taken up a lot of my time, because it's still a lot of leveling, but I'm 10 levels away from 50, which is max level, and then I'll be
soon
ready for the event quest that happens before Shadowlands, and then I'll be ready for Shadowlands. So that's been fun. Dalit, we played a little bit of a multiplayer the other day for a video game.
Yeah. Ghost of Tsushima's 1.1 update came out. Man, it was really, really nice.
I think I'm gonna continue playing that a lot, actually.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I really haven't put as much time as I probably should because of certain other games that own my soul. But I mean, yeah, Legends was surprisingly feature rich.
Oh, it's so good.
That's good to see.
It doesn't even have a raid in it yet.
Exactly. Like, honestly, the mode is genuinely impressive. It's not just like another tacked on multiplayer mode for the sake of adding a sticker to the back of the box. It's got its own story. It has survival, or I guess like a horde mode. Like you said, the raid isn't even out yet, but it has all this content, weekly challenges, gear. It's just Samurai Destiny at this point. And it's free. Well, if you picked up the game.
And if you have PS Plus.
Yeah,
you gotta have PS Plus. But yeah. It's free. And like, I mean, it's
like I didn't have to pay extra on top of what I've already paid for to enjoy all this extra content.
Yes. I'm actually surprised at how in-depth the system is for it.
In what way?
Like, I'm surprised that it goes into like how the gear is, because the gear, when you get like rare gear, you can re-roll the stats on said gear.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. Like, this is a proper, fully fleshed out.
You can re-roll the stats.
Yeah, like I have a sword, all right, that gives me that automatically puts me in moon stance, but it gives me the ability to change into stone stance, and it also has I think it came with the stat of like 9.8% perfect parry rate. Or like chance, and then but I re-rolled it into like melee power. But yeah, it comes with stats. You can use some like I guess resources that you get for leveling or doing content. You can use that to re-roll the stats into something random.
Is it because, for example, if you ever got the same gear twice, is that stats it comes with it randomized, and then that's why you can re-roll it? Or
well, I mean, this happens in a lot of games that like have this type of gearing progression in it. It happens like in MMOs. Like I think in last expansion for 14, you were able to re-roll the stats on your relic.
Don't remind me of the relic.
Your relic weapon in Pyros and Hydatos.
There were certain conditions you had to do though, right?
You just needed light. which you farmed while
Yes,
in
that's right.
Pagos, or while you
Yes.
farmed while you're in Eureka in general. But
Mhm.
it so that's just a mechanic that's in it. But I didn't expect that to be. I didn't expect them to actually kind of go all out in this.
This could be a standalone game, 110%.
Yeah, this could be
Charge
literally standalone.
$40,
Ah.
and this could be a standalone game. Like
Yeah.
it's interesting. They very much are reusing assets.
Mhm.
There's no getting around that. If you really know the world, you can kind of figure out where you are and how you want to attack things. And the characters are just different aspects of Jin's kit. Like, no individual character is as powerful as our titular ghost, but like there's 4 of you, right? So you cover each other pretty well.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you can double up
Oh.
on rolls as well.
Yes, and unlike other games of the genre, not all of them, but certain ones, you can, for instance, play 2 Ronins and have 2 good boys with you.
Yeah.
That's good.
But yeah, like there's an impressive amount of just aesthetic gear, which you get by playing the game or by playing the base game.
Mhm.
There's the loot, which, as Aqua said, you can reroll to be better or to be to your liking. There's a leveling system for your class, and you can unlock the other classes and level them as well. And the gameplay is just as good as the main game.
Yeah.
I mean, that shouldn't be a surprise because it's just using all those systems, but it works.
Does the gear or things you can unlock in this multiplayer version, does it carry over to the single player?
No, I don't think so.
I haven't checked yet. I do know that it certainly works main game to Legends, but I'm not sure we'll get those pieces in the main game.
Yeah, when you unlock stuff in the main game, it'll give you some stuff in the it'll give you some stuff in Legends. But I highly doubt it's the other way around. But I mean, it could possibly be. I mean, I'm not even out of the first act in the.
Yeah, I can't speak to it yet. I have technically started New Game Plus, but I've done nothing in it yet. So if I run across Gilzen or the new Merchant, I'll see what they have for sale.
But there's a story mode that has multiple difficulties. There's a horde mode, which is just called survival, and you go up against like waves of enemies, and
Oni.
they get increasingly harder, and some Oni spawn along with them. That has multiple difficulties. I'm assuming the raid's going to have multiple difficulties. The raid's not even out yet. Well, I don't even know when the raid comes out. Probably in a couple of weeks, most likely. I guess they want to make sure everybody gets geared up or whatever. It's literally, Dalit said it. It's literally Destiny.
It's Samurai Destiny, yeah. It's great.
But with Samurai, and it honestly, it kind of feels better than Destiny.
I love this. And for a moment, getting away from the substantial bits, let's talk surface level. This game's pretty.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like they're using weird mystical filters, so everything looks a bit, super contrasty.
I've been wanting another Onimusha for so long, and from what I saw, it was all spoopy, and they've used the whole like horror aspect, yokai, Oni, that kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
I like the aesthetic very much.
So good.
I've had a lot of fun. The only time I've played is that one time with Psycho. Then that one time when we played the other night. And then last night I did a random quick play by myself for survival. We didn't go all the way to wave 15. We went to, I think we died at wave 13 or wave 14 actually.
Is there an end, or is it just endless wave?
It's 15 waves.
15 waves, yeah.
Ah, right.
But yeah, I know it's fun. I've kind of wanting to play it right now just to get more gear. I'm curious to see what the raid's going to be like, because man,
Did they give a hint?
It's just the tale of EO.
I guess there's some hints throughout the story, because we meet, well, we don't meet EO, at least not where we are yet, but EO is chuckling at us and kind of trolling us throughout a couple of the missions. She's the Onibaba. That was thing we were after in the one quest you watched us do. So presumably in some small way, every story quest will lead up to the raid making sense canonically.
Yeah.
Maybe not canonically to the main game, but to the story they're telling now.
Yeah. Will it be like a dungeon style with an end boss, or just a full-on boss raid?
I don't think
Not
anybody
sure
knows.
yet.
They haven't really given out any information about it.
And will it be a player cap, like a number of players you can raid with?
I think Psycho said it's 4 to 8, but I'm
Yeah.
not.
It seems like 4
on
is
that.
4 seems like the safest bet. But if they really want to make it interesting, it'll be a large set arena with 2 teams. And can we talk about how like chatting actually feels like it makes a difference in this?
Oh yeah,
because
the quick chat.
aspects, certain aspect. No, not even that. Just chatting feels important to this like multiplayer mode.
Oh yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, at least for the survival aspect of it. You're in an area. You have 3 points you need to defend. It's random. Well, not random, but like I guess it generates what points it's gonna the waves of enemies are gonna attack. You have 4 people. It's so 2-player for the story mode stuff. It's 4-player for the horde mode survival stuff.
No, I look forward to seeing like some of the higher difficulty story mode stuff, seeing if it's as important to really plan there.
Yeah. In the horde mode, like I said, you have the 3 spots you need to defend it, and it's honestly really key to set up people in like certain areas at times, especially later on. The first like 7 to 8 waves are honestly pretty easy, and you can kind of just get around with just jobbing everything up. But after you get to like 10 and on, it gets like increasingly harder, and you just get more and more enemies. That's when they start spawning a bunch of Onis, and they're hitting you with these like unblockable and like really hard to dodge like mystic attacks. And you can easily get like 2-shot.
And to think we're still on bronze. There's 2 more tiers of like level above us right now.
3
tiers.
There's a nightmare tier.
That's right. The weekly one.
Yeah. So I probably will never play on nightmare because I suck massive donkey at this game. And maybe probably go as high as gold if I feel like I want to put on my big boy pants.
We'll see.
But I've had fun. With this. The only other thing that I played this week was 14 a little bit. I played the new Bosch stuff. That's
I haven't gotten onto it yet, so
that's fun.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people like really enjoying it.
Yeah.
I need to resubscribe.
It's Eureka-esque. You go in, you do fates, you do these things called critical engagements, which are like higher level tier fates. They're kind of like boss fates, pretty much. And a couple of those boss fates actually, depending on if you dodge mechanics, dodge all dodgeable AoEs, you get a thing that pops up that says duel, and it puts you in a lottery to get thrown into a 1v1 against like a boss.
nice.
That system sucks because you get people that go into there not knowing what they need to do, and if you win, the whole instance gets a medal, like a medal buff. A medal is the experience points you get in there. That increase when you get to certain points, you can turn it into increase your resistance rank.
So is this an individual dodging the AoEs or the party?
No. Okay, so yeah, individual dodging AoEs.
All right.
So the individuals that dodge all the AoEs, they get a thing that pops up that says duel. You can challenge, etc., depending on what critical engagement you just did. Because there's only 3 critical engagements that spawn duels, and so depending on like which one you're doing, you'll get that duel thing. So if like 10 people dodged all the AoEs in that critical engagement, they'll get a thing that says duel that throws them into a lottery if they hit accept, and one of them will get picked to do this 1v1 against whatever boss. The boss does one-hit mechanics, so if you get hit by something, you're dead.
Okay.
So you pretty much have to dodge. You get these things called lost actions, which are pretty much the Logos actions from Eureka. And you can use them to help you, like get through the fight easier. But the problem is, again, a lot of people will go into it and they'll just immediately fail within 5 seconds.
Cool.
You can actually watch the people fight these bosses. By the way,
no pressure.
It does a ring. There's like this ring around the area, and you get to stand watching like the people prep.
You get to be the NPC in the background of a fighting game. That's what you are now.
Yeah, and
During the cheering. Okay.
The system sucks because it's just kind of like a. I think there's some achievements behind doing all the 1v1s. And a lot of people are like wanting to do it, but they're in a lottery, and the maximum amount, there's like 70 something people within an instance. So 70 something people, and I think only like 48 people or something like that can do a critical engagement. So like you have if all 48 people dodged AoEs, then and they all click the button, you have a 1 in 48 chance of being picked to do this duel. And then if you don't get picked and you're prepared to do this duel, but the person that did get picked is not prepared to do this duel, then you just get to watch somebody die within like 5 seconds. And I'm pretty sure the instance loses medal, like loses the medal experience if they lose. So
do you think there's a potential for heated discussions?
There's already been heated discussions.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
I definitely see what they were trying for from a strictly spectator or from an outsider point of view, because I haven't been in yet. It sounds like they wanted to make this a spectacle. The idea that there's a detriment to losing like that feels wrong, because it's random and you're not just voting on like your best player to run in there and fail. But strictly speaking, from the outside, it seems like, okay, you go in, you have a bit of a war, then you have the duel between the two badasses that come out, and it feels like they're going for very very movie-esque feel to this, and perhaps didn't consider the downsides of it given failure.
Yeah.
Especially since it is new content, there will be a lot of that.
Yeah, I suppose they should make the failing part a bit more lighthearted rather than you lose something from it, because there will be inevitably someone that is very bitter.
Yeah.
From the situation.
I feel you don't D rank in this one like you did in Eureka.
That's good. Oh, good. Okay. It's at least that.
So if you die or anything, or if you lose medal, you just have to, I guess, do another fate or something like that. A lot of people have been like wanting. You get these things called like clusters, which are like the crystals that you got in Eureka. They were suggesting, hey, maybe you can spend like 200 clusters to spawn the 1v1 for yourself. Because that might be a good idea. Because after a while, you don't need clusters for really anything. Because after you get all your logos, I was supposed to say logos actions. After you get all your lost actions, you don't need to like go look for more lost actions, because they get thrown into a cache box, and you just pull whatever out of the cache box and you put it in your holster, which you're able to swap your actions like on the fly while you're out in the field. And
holster, duels. Is this a Western? A Chanbara?
Pretty much. You're following the story of Gunhilder's Blades, which is the Hrothgar people and their whole storyline. From what I've seen, the storyline, it looks pretty good. Your relic's slightly attached to Bajda, but you can do everything outside of Bajda, which it's actually a lot faster if you do it outside, because the chances of you getting the materials in Bajda are lower than you just doing the stuff outside, because in Bajda, you just have chances of getting like the drops, while out in the actual world of 14, you just do Heavensward Fates, and those are 100% chance of dropping the stuff, and then you just do dungeons after that step.
I think that's the right call. I realize it doesn't sound that way, and it kind of takes away some of the splendor that is the new content. But with the frustration we've heard already about the new content, having this alternate means of ascending your gear and just using Bajta strictly for the story sounds like perhaps not the worst thing they could have done.
I slightly agree with it, and I slightly don't at the same time. But like, I heard Happy defend it, and he defended it pretty well. See, in Bajda, you're not only just going for relic stuff, you can go for increasing because you can actually level jobs in Bajda. So anything that's level 71 and up can go inside Bajda, and so it kind of it's the replacement for like Palace of the Dead and Heaven on High.
Yeah.
I'm definitely here for that idea anyway.
Yeah, and so you can level up a job through there. You get items that you can actually sell on the market board, and so you can make a little bit of money. You can get mounts, you can get a whole bunch of stuff while you're inside Bajda. So I guess that's why they like decrease the chance of getting the items for the relic in there, and
sure.
And they're increased by just doing Heavensward relics and Heavensward dungeons.
This goes back to the parallel progression, giving you more ways of doing things. So I guess that's fine. Yeah. In the long run.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I'm gonna probably go hard in Bajda when I get my Dark Knight to 80, which is at 79, and I'm just waiting to do stuff with a friend. So yeah, I'll probably have more to talk about that probably next week once I get through it, because there's a critical engagement at the end of like Bajda after you hit resistance rank 10. It's called Castrum Lacus Latori, and it's pretty much a dungeon, but it's like it's a critical engagement dungeon pretty much, and I've seen that. It's pretty fun. It's a lot more approachable than Baldessian Arsenal was and Hideoutos.
Sure.
Because you're not super gatekeeped. You can actually just queue into it. So that'll be fun. I've seen a lot of people do that, and it looks really fun. So, but I think that's all I played this week. I played a little bit of Hearthstone, but that's nothing really to talk about, honestly.
Fair enough.
But speaking of Hearthstone, so there's some strikes in France because of that Blizzard shut down that
Yeah, we
that
touched on
branch.
it last week, but I do believe Dole has something to say.
Oh, I've got a lot to say. I ended up looking this up because it struck me as weird, given that last week we had found out that even worst case scenario, to one degree or another, the workers would be looked after. No, just being Americans, I didn't believe that. I just don't. So I looked into it, and yeah, no, there are unions, and they are taking care of the workers as best as possible. But 3 unions, La CGT, Species UNSA, and CFE CGC, had called for the employees of the Versailles branch to begin a strike as of October 14th, I believe. This is not the news. This was expected. What's interesting, to we not in the know, is the why. Now, I imagine we all would think that closures during this still ongoing pandemic would be a bad thing, and it is, and the unions do mention this in their joint statement. However, there is more. Not only are 300 jobs expected to vanish and not be filled by anyone, but those impacted are going to find it very difficult to acquire new work in the current environment.
Yeah, it's really sucky.
Yeah, no, it's awful, but they go on.
Okay.
The trio of unions point out that the closure comes after, and I didn't know this, repeated denials by Blizzard executives of any plans to close the studio.
Oh no.
As such, the abrupt closure is likely to have caught any who believe those executives off guard. And while I'm sure many saw the signs and knew this was coming, it doesn't change the fact that the employees were lied to.
Yeah, no, I've been in this position working in a past company I shan't name, but it's a big publisher, and they've done this before. Not Blizzard, but oof, oh, that's horrible.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
Well, do we think that this was Blizzard executives lying, or was this Blizzard executives didn't know and Activision just shut them down?
It might be that are they nearing an end of the project cycle or something, and they want to keep the workers in or stop them from jumping ship before it's over.
Well, so
Yeah,
here's the problem here. The French branch was actually the branch that held up all the customer service for Europe.
Right.
That is soon to change, my friend.
Yeah, no, it's
correct.
going to London. It's going to
Yeah.
it's
I
going to
did
the
mention-
Activision branch in London, actually.
Yeah, I did mention last week that one of the worries that the unions were thinking was that they were doing it because of changes with the Brexit situation. It'd be cheaper to go to Britain now. Maybe.
They did.
Uh-huh.
The unions did outwardly accuse Activision Blizzard, of closing the Versailles studio as a means to avoid European taxes.
There you go.
Instead, now relying on the London-based UK studio, which would no longer be part of the EU given Brexit. So
Yes, okay. That is shitty.
Yeah.
So it seems that your ideas were absolutely, well, as far as these three unions are concerned, are absolutely correct.
Yeah.
To answer your question, Aqua, we don't actually know.
Yeah,
These are all accusations, and they're pretty good ones. I assume employees have come out and said, we were told we weren't going to be let go, only to then be let go because the whole studio's closing.
See, I can easily see it as the Blizzard execs actually thinking that they're not going to be let go.
I agree.
And then Activision coming in and saying, no, you guys are going to be let go. Because depending on who it is that actually, like, the Blizzard execs that actually ran it, I know Blizzard in its entirety is not a bad company. It's just a lot of their business practices have gone downhill since they were acquired by Activision. And
yeah, Activision in recent years has been very influential over Blizzard, especially in terms of cost cutting.
Yes, because everything's being ran by by Activision's financial department now.
Exactly.
And we know that Activision is not a good company. Hell, I mean, just look at Bungie. They pried their fucking way out of being under Activision's foot.
I genuinely don't know how they were able to keep Destiny. That's a magic trick.
So, man, I understand Blizzard probably, got a lot of money for being put under, but like being bought out by Activision. I swear they need to find a way to get out from under them. They need to just go back to being a self-publishing company.
It's a weird thing. I don't think Blizzard necessarily wants to, but for their reputation's sake, it would certainly help. This is, you've essentially said it. This is what many were expecting. The slow, steady takeover of power by Activision. It just looks like Activision is devouring and centralizing. And this comes at the cost of Blizzard's reputation, their game's quality, and between last year and this year, their staff in general. Let's not forget the big ActiBliz 2019 layoffs.
Yep.
8% of the company, 800 people were laid off.
You know what's the scummy thing about that? They replaced a lot of those roles.
Did they?
Yeah.
They replaced a lot of those roles. So they
just
obviously
didn't want people
kicked out the higher paid people just to get newer, lower paid people.
Exactly.
Yeah, that is scummy.
And
I mean,
you can see it in the quality of their games now. I mean, fuck, Shadowlands been delayed because of how shitty it is.
I still can't get over the fact that this was called out by the fans, that this desperately needed to be delayed. But at the same time, knowing that they're right, they all had the idea of, but it won't be. Like, literally, this delay of Shadowlands is amazing because it should have happened.
Yeah.
And that it did. It's not amazing because, oh, it's so bad. No, it's amazing that it actually is being seen to.
They're not really fixing much of it. Everything that's been coming out from from people playing the beta for Shadowlands and all the stuff that's changing, they're still not making it better. Hell, last week after the whole delay and everything, they stated they didn't state, but like people found out that you couldn't use the abilities that you got in Shadowlands outside of Shadowlands. Like you could use it in like rated battlegrounds, you could use it in dungeons and stuff like that. And in the content that it like mattered, I guess, but like you couldn't sit in Stormwind and use your abilities that you got in Shadowlands. And people were like
That's really weird.
they were like, why like who asked for this? Why? Like there was a huge uproar about it, and then Blizzard actually reverted it. So they might be I guess trying to actually fix Shadowlands, but I mean, we'll see.
All we can do, as non-devs, is hope.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, I'm the only one here going to be playing Shadowlands, so I get
that is entirely accurate.
I get to tell you all if
I
it's shit
I
or
really
not.
hope the employees that were laid off get some compensation, reverence pay or something like that.
Well, I mean, they have to because it's
Yeah, I mean they got unions.
France law,
thankfully.
so
Yeah.
EU law, but
God.
Yeah, but it doesn't guarantee work before.
Sudden layoff though is horrible.
It's
horrible, stressful, especially now.
yes, especially right before holiday season.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I mean the layoffs for Blizzard happen again. Like happen at around the same time, didn't it? Like the
I want to
last
say it was
layoffs
actually March last year that they happened, but I might be misremembering that.
Well,
I mean, the fact of the matter, this is year to year at this point. That's sketchy.
Yeah, it is.
And it's not like they're losing money.
No, because of these layoffs, they make a bunch.
Yeah.
Isn't that sick though? Hey, we made profit. How? Well.
Exactly.
Hey, we made profit. Oh yeah. Well, we're gonna make even more profit. How's that? Because you don't have a job.
Because we don't have to pay you.
Oh man. All right. Well, we can move on from that. Speaking of coronavirus, Square Enix president talked about how the coronavirus caused time to stand still and that they couldn't develop anything. Which is not surprising because when was the last other than 7 which came out like in the middle of coronavirus and was pretty much already done before like coronavirus hit. That was the only Square Enix game that was released.
Yeah, I mean, also coming from like someone in Japan as well, people aren't used to working from the office. Like a lot of the work, even computer-based work, is in the office only.
Yeah.
So they've had to restructure a lot of the work practices in a lot of companies in Japan, including the games industry. And actually, there's been a lot of adaptations that have gone well. Like the 14 devs, for example, they've managed to crack out expansions and patches and whatnot.
Yeah. Like we even saw it with 14. They had to delay the patches for 14, but they've still been hammering out. They're actually back on schedule now. So
it's very impressive.
Yeah.
So they've had to do a lot of work to get into the remote work like mindset, but they've done it eventually. And but I got a quote from the chief executive, Yosuke Matsuda. He says there is also a considerable impact on the production side. It will resonate in the future. What we are selling now may have provided some positive aspects, but on the negative side, time has stood still in terms of production. We couldn't develop anything. That is where the impact will come. So there might be, like, there have been delays, right?
Yeah.
With, yeah.
Like I said, there was delays with the patch for 14, but they're back on schedule now.
Yes.
It's probably going to be man, I don't see that's the thing, because I don't know what Square had in the works other than what they announced of Project Athia, which was they announced that a couple months ago, and then they announced Final Fantasy 16. So I don't know what else they have in the burner at the moment.
It might be stuff they haven't mentioned yet.
Exactly.
Yeah. But we already know that 16's actually surprisingly really far down, not far down the line, but is has been in development for a very long time. So
they also have that. They haven't. There's the one that's got a working title. Is it a Project something?
Yeah, Project Athia.
That was Athia.
Yeah.
Athia. Okay. Yeah.
Which that one looks really good, but that doesn't even have gameplay or a release date to it. It was just a CG cutscene.
I think for Square, having not said anything yet is technically good for them.
Yeah.
Because now we won't see things like delays. We'll see, 16. I'm sure 16. If 16 had been announced last year, we would have seen a delay by now.
Yeah.
But now it's with it freshly announced. They've probably already taken the hit from Corona and have planned accordingly for it. I think you're right. I think the things that'll be most heavily impacted going forward are things just they haven't announced yet that we do not know about.
Yeah.
And in a wider kind of example, this quote is pretty much a great quote to sum up the games industry in general.
Yeah.
Because boy, oh boy, when Corona hit, I think every major developer, with an office space, suddenly had to press the pause button and just readjust. And certainly some places would have readjusted faster, but
yeah, it's not just in the direct development stuff that's affected. It's also security as well.
Yeah. I think the biggest one for that being the Last of Us shenanigans.
Yeah. So Dalit, you've had a lot to talk about this next subject, don't you?
Yeah, I got a lot of things off my chest, but I think I'll keep this one pretty brief. It's a rough story for all involved, and it's already been handled by the parent company of Rooster Teeth. Okay. So,
right.
Achievement Hunter suffered a pretty hefty loss, and it's not quite the way you'd think. After allegations of sexual misconduct and breaches of the code of conduct, Ryan Haywood has been let go of Rooster Teeth. Information is out there. It's everywhere, and it's easy to find, so I'll leave it to the viewers to look it up. It's not going to be an easy read. No. If you're familiar with Achievement Hunter, with Ryan, with all of them, it's going to suck. But you should know.
Yep.
During the course of all of this, Achievement Hunter had been on break, and all the parties were investigated. And now that the situation has been wrapped up and Mr. Haywood has exited the company, the podcast will resume and they will continue putting out content. And in a more positive light, they will be participating in Extra Life this year and supporting Children's Miracle Network hospitals. So please go show some love to them and the charity. And that's really just all I have to say on that.
Yeah. Tough stuff. You know what else is tough stuff? Trying to say Romancylvania Bachelor's Curse.
Oh, goodness, this guy.
Faster.
Romancylvania Bachelor's Curse. Romancylvania Bachelor's Curse. Blah, 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 blah. People, this is Bachelor's Curse is capital BAT.
Get it? Because vampires turn into bats?
It's a Metroidvania game, so if you're into that, it was announced. I'm not into Metroidvania games, so it looked all right though.
Yeah, it's a parody of the Metroidvania series of just really Castlevania, but with some Metroid flair. It's perhaps not for everyone. It's not the most wholesome looking game in the world.
No, it is not.
After all, Bachelor's Curse should imply what the end goal is. You're going to find all your nightmare waifus and presumably try to win their hearts,
Blood.
No.
or blood.
Yeah.
It looks like a cute, fun little game for the holiday.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Della, have you ever played RuneScape?
I actually have never touched that game.
Me either.
Ever.
Like, have you played RuneScape?
But like maybe like 1 or 2 times.
Oh, now we all can play it on Steam.
Boy,
Yeah.
oh boy, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, this is like I played it okay, more truthfully, I watched someone play it way back. Like this game is so old. And obviously I had some interest in it because D&D, whatever, right? But
Yeah.
oh god, it's I had a double take. I had to like check like the date it was posted when I saw this information on Twitter.
Yeah, I'm genuinely surprised this game still exists.
A lot of people
But
still
not
play this
that-
game.
Yeah, I know, because it's actually going into beta on Android. No, sorry, early access Android phone and beta soon on iOS. So it's not just Steam.
Damn.
Yeah.
I've never played RuneScape. Not once in my life. It has never appealed to me. It's one of those MMOs that are just kind of weird, I guess. But a lot of people still play it, and more to them. I guess I'm surprised it is literally just hitting Steam now, and hasn't been on Steam for the past 16 years or some reason.
Yeah.
Who knows? So this week they also showed some Spider-Man Miles Morales gameplay footage,
Yeah,
but
they did.
more importantly,
Damn right, more importantly.
they confirmed Spider-Cat will be in the game, and
Oh, yeah.
Spider-Cat gets to do stuff in the game. Like, Spider-Cat helps you in battle.
It's
not-
so
Yeah.
great to see.
It's like a flavor, like final bit of the attack you can do, and it's so cute.
It
I
is
made
the
such
best
an
edition.
ungodly sound when I watched the video.
For most people, I guess if they don't understand about Spider-Cat, I'm pretty sure was in the Into the Spider-Verse with Miles Morales as well. People were wondering if Spider-Cat was going to be there in the game, and they confirmed it this week. So it's not just a cat sitting in your bag. The cat actually gets to do stuff with you, and that's actually really cool. Insomniac really knows how to put really good flares in their game, so...
Yeah, it's a nice touch.
It's nice makeup for the face incident.
Oh man, don't remind me. My boy. They
They've
What they
offered
did to my boy.
gift and compensation.
I
I just read as well, like from Marvel.com, the game footage that they showed with Spider-Cat in. It states that the cat's legal real name is in fact Spider-Man. So the Spider-Cat is called Spider-Man.
There's 3 Spider-Man.
There's now 3. His own little Spider-Verse.
Oh man. I'm still not looking forward to playing Spider-Man Remastered with that Tom Holland
Yeah.
ripoff. Oh man. I guess we'll skip over this next one just so we can talk about more Marvel stuff. Marvel's Avengers. Yeah.
Okay.
We're-
You were quite positive about it last week. Besides the hiccups that you mentioned.
No,
This game just can't catch a break.
What's happened?
It's a good game. It's just a lot of stuff is going wrong with it. So the PS5 and the Xbox Series generation versions are being delayed to 2021, and its content map is being delayed as well. This is mainly due to, it could possibly be due to coronavirus stuff. Who knows, really? But probably due to the fact that the game is not, it's not optimized. It's like, it doesn't have, for one, it doesn't have enough content to really keep people playing, towards the end, like after you beat the game and like pretty much do all the stuff in the game. Like you can honestly do that like really quickly within like 2 weeks. But it's also very buggy. I don't know how it plays on PS4. I think it's still like okay on PS4, but I think it does crash a lot.
It does, yeah.
But the PC version is just horrendous when it comes to bug fixes and like.
Not to be a Debbie Downer, but it really does feel like you're beta testing this game.
Yes, it does.
Like, delays are the name of the game this time around, but it's honestly just further frustration from a title that has not impressed yet.
I think Ethos said it best when I was playing with them last, was like, anybody that has played this game between like the time it came out and like a month should actually be able to put on their resume that they're a beta tester.
Yeah, they're QA, absolutely.
Because it's definitely they should have had an extended beta test for this game, because I think it only tested for like maybe a week, if not, and there were problems during the beta test, but even after like the patch that they had with like over 1,000 bug fixes, this game is just not optimized the way it needs to be out in public. And
this doesn't surprise me though. I mean, given the game's reputation thus far, I'm not at all surprised to see the next gen versions delayed.
I'm not surprised that the next gen versions are being delayed. I'm a little bit surprised that some of the content maps being delayed, because I think the characters got delayed too.
Yeah, Kate Bishop at very least got delayed, and I'm kind of two minds about that myself, but I don't play the game. On one hand, not adding another character to the game while it's being worked on is probably the right call. Kate does bring with her more content, so that could have been impacted or further agitated by the bugs that are in the game now. But on the other hand, I mean, it's one more reason for players not to believe the roadmap and not to come back yet. The roster is limited, the content is lacking, and now the promise of something new and shiny is delayed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, it probably was a lose-lose from the devs' perspective, and they probably chose the less detrimental option, but I mean, who can say?
Like, I completely enjoyed playing this game, and like, it wasn't like because I got Anthem for free, all right? So I'm not too like miffed about anything bad that happened to Anthem or whatever. What I played of Anthem was kind of fun, but I definitely could see like the whole flaws in the system. But Avengers is literally ended up being Anthem 2.0. And
this is a problem, because it's pretty clear that the game available to players now needed to be delayed as well.
Yeah.
And this all points to one or all of the companies involved, that's Crystal Dynamics, Square Enix, and Disney, wanting to double dip on profits.
Yeah.
And definitely release before next gen was available. If they had delayed the release of the current gen to near or after next gen consoles were out, then there's no way people would have double dipped.
Well, they wouldn't have had double dip, because most games that are coming out for current gen are going to be able to be played on next gen. So, like, I mean, if you bought it for PS4, you were going to be able to play it on PS5 anyway. If you bought it on Xbox One, you were going to be able to play it on Series X. The only thing that doesn't get the upgrade is fucking PC, and if you have a decent enough, even if you have like a decent computer, the bugs in the game, like it's like your hardware can't fix a bugged game. So
Yeah, exactly.
they needed a good 6 more months for QA on this game. 100%. And I honestly think it mainly has to because I don't get any of these bugs when I'm playing by myself. If I'm doing if I'm doing not online stuff, I don't have any of these problems. So I'm 100% saying it's something to do with their netcode.
Can I ask a question though?
Mm-hmm.
Even with the saving grace of if you're playing by yourself, this doesn't happen. What can you do by yourself?
You can do it. You can do everything you could do with people. Because like instead of
you mean with bots then?
Yeah, you get AI bots.
Okay,
with you.
okay.
So I mean, obviously it's not as optimal because you can have people like doing because I don't know what level your AI characters like are. I don't know because they might end up being like a static level in which you kind of need like higher level people and then later on stuff. But you're still able to get through most of the stuff with the bots, at least most of the normal like difficulty stuff.
Yeah, but that defeats the whole purpose of this game.
Yeah, no, it does because you want to play this game with people, and I mean, even when this game had like peak it's peak people, like it's peak players, the matchmaking didn't ever work for me. So I don't think they tested their online enough. That this game needed 6 more months in the QA. Definitely, 100%.
I don't know about 6 months, but yeah, I definitely needed more time in the oven for sure, for certain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I say 6 months because if they were able to throw out a patch that fixed over 1,000 bugs, and it's still as buggy as it is,
needs a lot of work still.
1,000 bugs is a lot. 14 doesn't even throw out patches for 1,000 bugs.
Oh no, and I agree with you. I don't know how long QA takes, and adding 6 months on top of it seems like they were never going to do that to begin with.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I just hope this game gets the fix it needs and gets back on track.
Were they just like needing to make money back or something on production costs?
I'm just betting it was Disney saying get this game out.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's my assumption that one of those companies was like, no, it needs to go out now.
Yeah, I don't think Square. I'm pretty sure Square wasn't the one that was like, get this game out now. I'm pretty sure it was.
I have no opinion on that, but given what we just heard about Square Enix and what they've said, I don't know, maybe not.
I mean, they might have told Crystal Dynamics to get it out because Disney was probably telling Square Enix to get it out.
All entirely possible. I think is what we're getting at here.
Yeah. Well, riding the delay train, I didn't even know this game existed, but Digimon Survive RPG is delayed to 2021 as well.
Yeah, they'll toss out Digimon games every now and again. It's not a series I've gotten caught up with, but Digimon just had a bit of a resurgence with the Try movies ?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not surprised to see that there are games that may or may not be tied into them.
Yeah, well, they were releasing the information at the same time when it was first announced.
Mm-hmm.
The only Digimon game that I actually showed interest in playing is Cyber Sleuth, which I hear that's actually a really good game. So
I know that it exists because Steam recommended it to me a couple of times, but I've not looked into it at all.
Yeah. Anyway, that's being delayed. That's not a surprise. But what's not being delayed, and what's not a surprise that it's not being delayed, is Assassin's Creed Valhalla, because it went gold this week.
Yeah, it sure did.
I need to finish Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Although I'm having so much fun faffing again. Faffing forever. But yeah, they just got gold, did they?
Yeah.
Cool.
A lot. I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to get this Assassin's Creed game. I'm done with Assassin's Creed. I have Odyssey. If I ever really want to play an Assassin's Creed game, I'll just boot up Odyssey. I think I'm fairly done with this series. I think it's going on way too long.
This is probably one I'm definitely going to watch.
Yeah.
just because I'm interested, but I won't be playing it, at least not until it's on sale.
Yeah.
Well, this game comes out.
Yeah, this is.
So this game comes out sometime in November, I think, along with the next gen consoles. It's going to be on both. There's going to be a current gen and a next gen version of this game. Yeah, I don't know.
I hope it does well. Genuinely, because I've seen a lot of people who are excited to play as a Viking assassin. Like the two of you, I checked out from the series a while ago. I didn't even finish Odyssey.
I didn't finish Odyssey either. I've played a good bit of it, and it's fun. I like it, but I don't know, man. Like Assassin's Creed was amazing in the beginning.
I think they made the Egypt one almost an interactable. Oh no, they did have an interactable tour. That was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Greece seemed like it was pretty well realized, and if they wanted to, they could absolutely make a tour of that as well. And now we have England. Just the UK in general, right? They would have landed in Scotland first.
I guess.
So
I don't know where this is actually going to be.
Either Scotland or the North. But yeah. I'm excited because I read manga sometimes, and Vinland Saga is one I really like, and it's a similar sort of thing. The Vikings come over and invade, and you learn some not accurate history, but they do touch on events in a general sense, and I'm hoping this game does that too.
Right.
Yeah, that'll be really cool to see.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be interested in watching this, but I don't think I'm gonna ever pick it up. Maybe once it drops down in price really quickly, like all Assassin's Creed games you normally do. Speaking of games dropping down in price really quickly, Last of Us Part 2 is now $40. It's not even. It's barely been 3 months since the game came out.
I'm trying to figure out what this actually means. Because this is a game that's Game of the Year material to a lot of people. Perhaps not the people in this podcast, but in general, this was not a failure, to my knowledge.
No.
No.
It has a big following, from what I've seen on circle of people I follow on online social medias. But
my money is that they're trying to get a boost in sales before revealing, which I'm sure already exists, the PS5 version, which will be a more standard price. This is just my assumption. I have nothing to go on. This is still a very strange thing to see, but it might just be because they know that the PS4 really isn't destined for too much more time, and they want to really milk what they can out of it. And I'm not mad at them for that. That's pretty sensible, all things considered.
They're 100% going to offer the upgrade free if you already own the game.
That is the assumption, isn't it?
Yeah, so you're not gonna need to buy the $70 version of Last of Us Part 2 on next gen consoles if you've already gotten it right now. So I'm just wondering, maybe it didn't do as well. Because obviously it did well critic wise, but I'm pretty sure user score is actually really low. Yeah, what I was saying was that I don't think, because I think critic-wise, the game did well, with critics and everything. But I think the user rating, and let me check Metacritic for it.
Oh, yeah, I've not looked in a minute. I'd love to know what the current numbers are on that.
I don't think the user rating for Last of Us Part 2 were actually very good. Yeah, they weren't. It's a 5.7.
Okay. Well, still in the toilet. Interesting.
So what my rebuttal was going to be was that maybe people bought the game and then returned it. Which, I guess, front loaded, yes. Okay, so developers and publishers make their money on how much they sell to the retailer. All right. So like anytime somebody returns a game, that's not negatively really impacted onto the developer or the publisher because all they needed to sell was so many copies to the retailer for the retailer to sell.
This is an aspect I've never really thought about when I consider pricing.
So, really, I think it dropping down to 40 so quickly, it might be a little bit indicative of like maybe it didn't do actually so hot with the people, as it said, like it's a 5.7 user score. I give or take that maybe a point. I give it it's actually probably more like a 6 or almost a 7 user score because obviously you have a bunch of people that might be like trying to bomb the
I
score
think it's
for it.
more than one or I think it's more than one or two people.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's more than one or two people, but I mean, like you'll have a lot of people bomb it. Like so, like it has 30. Let's see, user score. It has 63,000 negative reviews. More than a fair share of those are going to be people that didn't like the message the game was trying to like push, and were just and probably didn't even play it. So,
didn't they roll out a feature to? No, they just wouldn't let you vote in the first 24 hours. So yeah, I guess that's a distinct possibility. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd say that the user rating is probably more of a 6, almost 6 point something, maybe almost a 7. But there's still an average of maybe 63,000 people that didn't like the game. Period. So maybe the drop down to $40 is a little indicative that Naughty Dog didn't do a really good job.
Could be.
I mean, I myself stopped playing halfway through the game and then deleted it off my hard drive because I just didn't like it.
Oof.
I'm of a slightly different camp. I enjoyed 1 for what it was.
No, I loved 1.
Yeah, I didn't think it needed a follow-up. So
I'm in agreement with you. I
just didn't
play
bother.
the second one. That's why I'm a bit quiet on this because I don't actually have an opinion on the game itself.
Yeah, to be fair, this was not an opinion I got checkmate when all the nonsense came out. I genuinely never wanted a part 2 to begin with.
No,
this could be Game of the Year for the next 6 years. I still probably wouldn't want to mess with it.
No. I didn't want a sequel either. And like the story of Last of Us Part 2 was okay. Like it was good. But the way they told the narrative wasn't conducive to playing it. Like,
right.
It just wasn't fun. They made you go through a point of view of a character that you didn't want to have a point of view of.
Mm-hmm.
And so, as soon as I got to that point, I was like, I'm not doing another 10 hours of this. So I just deleted it off my hard drive and was like, I told one of my friends to tell me the ending.
You hate to hear it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Contentious game then, contentious game now.
Yeah, but it'll be contentious until like the next like year and a half because people will get it for the PS5.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you know what game people are not going to get for the PS5? Probably Final Fantasy VIII Remastered because they're going to get it for the PS4. Whether digitally last year or physically this year.
I have to admit, I did not foresee this getting a physical release.
No.
That's neat.
The box art looks nice.
Yeah. I mean, look, Square always makes pretty good ones, and the change between the East and Western boxes tend to not be so rough as with other series. So,
Did they create new box art or just reuse old artwork?
I'm pretty sure it's a new box art for it. It looks like pretty fancy. I think there's like 3 images in it. Where's it at? I had it like literally 5 seconds ago. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I mean, it looks like stills of artwork. probably done now because they look like they're more than likely in like 4K resolution. It's got 3 pictures: one of Leon, one of Renoa, and one of Cypher.
One of who now?
Is it Renoa?
Who was
Leon?
that first name you said?
Leon?
Leon! Oh no! I've played too much Kingdom Hearts! I've played too much Kingdom Hearts! It doesn't matter. It's same character. Fucking Squall. Who gives a shit?
Man. That was. I'm happy I zoomed in on that immediately.
Who gives a shit?
But yeah,
man?
it's they focus on the love triangle, which is, I guess, sensible. Probably wouldn't have been my choice for the cover, but it's fine. I mean, more 8 is great. I probably won't pick it up for a third time, but I
say that now.
I do. If it gets cheap enough, I probably will.
Oh,
Though this strikes me as a limited run, so I'm probably not going to pick up the physical copy at any point. I'll just skip to the digital versions.
Yeah, along with it comes a well, that was just for the PS4 version. The Switch version actually is a twin pack between 7 and 8. So if you don't have 7 and 8 for the Switch, you can just pick it up in one buy and have it physically.
Genuinely, that's a great deal. Goodness.
Yeah.
That is pretty good.
What's a really shitty deal, though, is 2K is at it again. Like they are every year. 2K is at it every year. So last week, 2K started adding in some unskippable ads during the load screens for NBA 2021.
What kills me about this is you mentioned this to me, and I was so certain that this had already been happening.
Nope.
I genuinely think my reaction to that was, isn't this old news?
Yeah. No, it's just the same news that you hear every year.
It's just expected, yeah. It's just expected news.
Man.
Not as surprising.
Fucking... So...
Yeah.
People were reporting that they were seeing this. I know a couple of news outlets tried replicating it over the weekend, and they couldn't replicate it. So there's a chance that 2K like patched it in and then patched it out like immediately after a couple of people were like, "What the fuck is this shit?" Mm-hmm. Because like every year, like they did it with 2019, they did it with 2020, and now with 2021, they just keep adding in these unskippable cutscenes during ads. And sometimes if like some people were having like they have an SSD, they swapped out their hard drive for an SSD, and like the load time on a normal hard drive, you could like there's like a percentage number down at the bottom, so like you can see it like going slow as the ad's going or whatever, and then like once the ad stops, it pick like the speed of the loading like fucking like goes fast.
Ooh, that's sketchy.
And then people with SSDs are finishing the load like super fast, and they still have to go through this like 15 to 20 second ad. And
yeah, it's curious, especially since they've been called out on this in the past, that they would continue to do this when I'm sure there are a myriad other ways they could go about it. I guess I'm not surprised to see that there are ads in the game. I mean, sports game, what are you going to do? To force it, I really want to gut check say this is probably a mistake, and it's why it was gone so quickly.
I don't think it was a mistake.
I mean, that's the worst part is that's just as safe an option.
No way. There's no way.
It's just
it was
chalking it up to continual grade.
No way it was a mistake, because like 2K just does this every year.
This is why I have such a negative outlook on sports games. Like I could make this a rant unto itself, but I'll keep it brief. I mean, we've seen the headlines of X game is literally just copy paste from last year's title.
Yeah, especially with the Switch game.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, where it's actually verifiably the same game.
Yeah.
And now with the adverts and with that literal slot machine controversy last year, My goodness, they're just a breeding ground for the worst kinds of monetization.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm like I don't unlike sports games. I think the only sports game I really actually liked playing was the NHL, and I had a really old NHL game. I had like NHL '98 or something like that, or NHL '99 actually.
I've never been very big into the simulation games, the arcadey ones. So like the backyard football and NBA Jam volumes 1 and 2 were great.
Yeah, I don't know. I 2K's been super scummy, like for the past couple of years, and it's just like it's big name publishers just keep trying to screw over the gaming market.
What's particularly weird about this is with this particular subsection of the community, not only are they trying to, they are
Yeah,
very, very well, as a matter of fact. And that player base does not mind because it's all about getting. It's kind of like gacha games, right? The real idea is I got to get all my boys on my team. I need my team. And so I'll shell out however much money to get my team in this game.
yeah. You wanna know the difference between gacha games and the sports games? You're not buying You're not buying the gacha games at $60 to $70.
This is true. This is true.
This is how you buy a gacha game. Oh, hey, look, I hit Raid Shadow Legends and I hit download. Oh, that's how you buy a gacha game. They're free.
Now, this doesn't make gacha better, but oh boy, it just makes the 2K, just the sports games in general, just seem so much worse when they add loot boxes and this chance item. So
FIFA's probably the worst of the contenders.
they were the first. Yeah, they would be the worst.
Man.
That Ultimate Team where it all began.
I feel bad for like people that like football and they like playing the FIFA games. Like the old school FIFA games I heard were like really fun. And now that people are like addicted to these games and they're like they need to have the next one, they need to have the next one, they need to have the next one. And like, EA and 2K are just hey, let's keep fucking them over. Let's keep fucking them over. They're going to keep buying because they're idiots. They're addicted to these games.
The industry polices itself and they refuse to tap EA or Activision, whoever is making that particular game, to stop because they're so profitable.
Yeah. Well, these publishers are going to get a swift kick in the ass once the government finally gets off their ass.
I mean, if it weren't for 2020, I would have thought that was a pretty safe bet for an eventuality that was going to come about fairly soon. Now, I wonder how far this year has pushed back that inevitability.
Probably a good couple of years, but it's gonna happen, and because loot boxes are already banned in most European countries anyway, so we will see.
That we shall.
Now, Dalit, you dropped this in the other day, and I was like kind of surprised you dropped this in the other day. Why are we going to talk about KDA?
So it was just one of those things that happened to pop up on my search for what's going on in the gamer sphere. But this popped up not once or twice, but a fair few times. Apparently, Riot is just making full-on music now.
No, they have been.
No, but this is a real, actual, EP that they will be selling.
Yeah.
These aren't just one-offs that you can go and download from the site.
Well, no. I mean, Riot has a band called Pentakill, and they've had albums out.
Aren't their albums free to get?
Wait, yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know.
This one is being sold, to my knowledge.
Well, I mean, it's KDA, so they've got to sell. They got to sell the K-pop, man.
They're selling the music to sell the skins. This is such a level 3 play. My goodness.
4D chess
We are
over here.
Did they
we're
get
go-
like a code for the skin or something?
I imagine you're gonna get the music and go, man, I want this version of Akali now.
Yeah.
I want my Akali to be all
okay.
cool and glow in the dark.
I have that version of Akali.
You would.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I saw that it was just this case of Riot, once known for making a singular one title, now has branched out to multiple titles and music, like legitimately. I just thought it was amusing, honestly.
I think there's also another KDA member coming out. I think she's called Seraphine.
That's the level 3 of this. This is promotion for a group.
For a new
That's
champion.
a promotion for a new champion.
Yeah.
That's that has on launch a very fancy new expensive skin that they want you to buy.
Yep.
They are like triple dipping. It's amazing. It's shady, absolutely, but it's kind of brilliant.
Yeah, and
I
it's
don't-
not like it's not quality either, because the music is good.
Oh yeah, the music is.
Oh yeah,
good.
because these are real musicians. This is what makes it so impressive.
Yeah.
They're not just getting a bunch of people in house who have like a pretty solid voice and an idea for music. This is
Actual K-pop stars.
music. Like, it's not always for me, but when they make the music videos, that's always really cool.
Yeah.
Even if I don't like the music,
Yeah.
man, the amount of work they're putting into it's pretty impressive.
Well, they do it live too, and they're also very good at dancing. So
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting that they've
Yeah.
performed at the last 2 or 3 worlds now.
I think
KDA and
last 2, I think.
what's the new one? What's the one with Echo and Akali and Yasuo, and they did Giants?
I have no idea. I don't pay
Yeah, they have-
attention to the most music from League. I mean, other than like their like new song that they come out like every Worlds.
Yeah, well, I mean, ever since I stopped playing League, this is literally the only thing I see of it, is the various musical aspects.
Well,
But yeah, no, it's not important. This is not real gaming news. I just thought it was amusing.
if anybody wants League of Legends KDA EP, it drops on November 6th. So that's nice. Now, considering we're recording this on a second day, we actually have some more stuff to talk about that includes this next bullet point. Twitch is adding soundtracks, which is going to allow streamers to use rights cleared music. Now, a lot of DMCAs came out today for a lot of streamers on Twitch.
Really?
right.
Yeah, because they're going pretty ham on it now.
My turn to play the out of touch person. Tell me more.
So, pretty much, a lot of streamers got emails stating that there has been a slight DMCA strike on their account, and not like a strike, but like it's pretty much a warning, and that the stuff that they found on their, like in their clips or in their previous videos or whatever, have been deleted, and that further on they're going to start being much harsher on people using copyrighted music or copyrighted items, which is kind of a slippery slope for Twitch, because a lot of the people that stream on Twitch, they like to use copyrighted music, and a lot of people are probably not going to listen to this.
This is going to be interesting.
Unfortunately, this is the word of the law, though, so it's just something we're going to have to get used to, unfortunately. But yeah, this Twitch soundtrack, which is being introduced at the end of, it was introduced at the end of September in a more like select users can try it out, and then you can also, if you want to try it out as well, go onto a waiting list of sorts.
Yeah.
This early version is compatible with OBS version 26.0. Streamlabs compatible version is coming out soon. It hasn't been rolled out just yet, I don't think. At least at the point of when I did this. And then, as I mentioned, select users are able to use it now. So I haven't seen any feedback from it yet, though. Something to look into, I suppose. But yeah, this feature gives you access to rights-cleared music.
Yeah.
So gone are the days of having your VOD muted. Now you can actually just receive the ban hammer. Well, maybe not ban, but
you'll get the warning, and then apparently they'll be pretty strict on repeat offenders. So it'll, after like a couple of times, then they're probably just going to outright ban accounts.
I'll be interested in seeing people who aren't perhaps like dedicated to Twitch jump to another platform. I have no idea what YouTube's stance on it is from a streaming standpoint. We all know what it is from a video standpoint, though, so that's probably not going to help.
It's the same deal. That's the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mixer has died.
They will start like locking down with what you've used on your videos now. They always like have copyright notices that crop up now and again. Demonetize videos left, right, and center, that kind of thing.
Exactly.
So here's a slippery slope here, right? And I don't like using the word slippery slope because almost everything's a slippery slope. But here's what I don't get about using copyrighted music. All right, most people aren't going to people's streams because of their music. All right. Even people that are like doing music streams, they're not doing copyrighted music because they're doing their own music. All right. What this kind of like slightly enforces is that music people, like music producers and like artists, they're not losing money off of people using their music on Twitch. All right. People probably are discovering more music by watching people on Twitch than they are like losing money. They're probably getting more sales by it. The slippery slope on this one is game developers and publishers are technically kind of losing money for people streaming their games on Twitch. Because if you're streaming a single player game and you're getting the story or whatever, that's you not going out and paying the $60 to...
Same as the argument, as you said just now with the music, though, is also promoting it. I bought games because I wasn't sure if I wanted to buy it, but then I watched it on Twitch, for example, and actually I quite like this. I'll try it out myself.
But to the contrary, I'm sure you've seen games on Twitch that you've seen on like, I was going to buy that, but...
No, because I'm poor.
Yeah, but the
it's like make or break for me.
But the problem is here is that you can draw a correlation to publishers and developers losing money because of people streaming their games on Twitch than you could of music producers and artists losing their money because people are using their music in the background on Twitch.
They need to embrace music. Publishers and labels need to embrace it the same way the games industry has.
Yeah.
Because, if in that case.
And they're not going to do that because music labels are greedier than, honestly, probably most gaming publishers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, absolutely. Honestly, it's a rough take on this one because this is kind of the law of the land, and problematically there was the pirating era of the early 2000s that have set kind of these rules in stone. It's the reason why the music industry is so paranoid about it. Also, let's never let the truth get in the way of a good lawsuit. People just like suing them for no reason, it seems.
But
it's tried and true, the American way.
Speaking of the labels that have been signed on, no major labels have been signed on by Twitch, an extension by Amazon, of course, because they own Twitch. But partners that are signed on include SoundCloud, CD Baby, Empire, Create Music Group, Unit Masters, DistroKid, Westwood Records, DimMac, Nuclear Blast, Chill Hop Mix, and there's actually quite a lot of other indie labels and whatnot. Goes on and on. So there is a wide selection if you're interested in trying it out eventually.
Is that for soundtracks?
But Yeah, I do wonder though, because Twitch decided to scrap Twitch Sings, and it's going to be cut off completely at the end of in January, at the beginning of the next year.
Yeah.
And they said because they were thinking of trying out different avenues of music on Twitch. And if this is what they replaced it with, I'm like scratching my head a bit. Because Twitch Sings had like a community that was growing around it, and now they've been thrown to the sidewalk.
I think this is just bad timing in that regard. I don't actually think this probably has much to do with that. I think this is mostly just we don't want to be sued, because honestly, the record labels aren't going to go after most of the people streaming the music. Most of the people streaming the music don't have the money to be worthwhile.
No.
Twitch, and therefore Amazon, however,
has that money.
They are worth suing.
Yeah.
Sure, people like who's one of the biggest? If Shroud or Ninja had streamed, sure, they might go after them. They're not going to go after like you and me. They're not going to get any money from you and me.
No.
So this is Twitch mostly probably just covering itself.
What I think Twitch should actually do is they should look into getting a type of radio license for most music, and have people that stream actually opt into a subscription to allow them to sub license music to be played on the stream, which is kind of like what they're doing with the soundtracks, but like,
yeah, I was about to say,
they're not doing it with like, I guess, like super known like labels. I think the one I only recognize is Empire on that list.
I would assume that's mostly due to individual artists wanting no part of it.
Yeah.
They want nothing to do with potentially losing out on money. Now, if the studios, if the record labels sign on, the artist isn't going to care because they get paid either way.
Yeah.
So, honestly, looking at the record labels is going to be the real sign of whose music is going to turn up.
No, that's how you do
which
it.
Which is a problem, because I don't know who signed to what label anywhere.
You just sign Sony, and then you cover almost all the music in the world.
Well, there you have it.
Yeah. Because at the end of the list, Sony is usually the holder of most of the music. At least on most anime music. I know that. But yeah, that's gonna be nice. I'll if I get into that soundtracks thing, I'll see like what kind of music I can like look at. I don't stream very often, so and I don't have any, and I surprisingly don't have any strikes on my account. And that's weird because I usually have a lot of like what would be copyrighted music played during my pre-roll. So get hitting a lucky bit on that one. So this week there was also an interview with our boy Phil Spencer, who talked about exclusives for next gen, and one of the lines he said is that they are not obligated to put out other games on platforms, which was which is correct. They're not obligated to do that. And with their, he talked about their acquisition of ZeniMax Studios, and
and this goes towards something that I think we've talked about off recording, in this case. Yeah, that acquisition came with a lot of questions of, so they're gonna have timed exclusives. What's going to be the case for that? And to which I think the obvious answer was, whatever Microsoft Studios wants. It's their product now.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be interesting to see what they do with that. I mean, they obviously still have the contracts out for Ghostwire Tokyo and I think Deathloop. They're still actually coming to PS5.
I believe so.
But he says he doesn't want to be flip about it. This deal was not done to take games away from another player base like that. Nowhere in the documentation that we put together was how do we keep other players from playing these games. We want more people to be able to play games, not fewer people to be able to go play games. But I'll also say that in the model, I'm just answering directly the question that, and this is like paraphrasing, that you had when I think about where we're going and how people are going to be playing a number of devices that we had. And we have xCloud and PC and Game Pass and our console base. We don't have to go ship those games on any other platform other than the platform we support in order to kind of make the deal work for us.
And that's entirely true. They could recoup every penny of what they bought it for by just selling it on the platforms they choose.
Yeah. The question N asked was, is it possible to recoup the $7.5 billion investment if you don't sell Elder Scrolls 6 on the PlayStation?
There you have it.
And he goes, yes. So.
And I think he's absolutely right. I think having it come out on the PlayStation is going to bolster that number and definitely be the safe play. But no, I do not think they have to do anything.
No. I don't think they will either.
Phil, you should though.
No, he's gonna. You're just gonna get it for PC anyway.
You're not wrong, but I'm just saying, not everyone is a part of the glorious PC master race.
No, but I mean, we figured that, and I don't think Elder Scrolls 6 is gonna come out for PS5. Okay, so I think it will, but I think it's gonna be a timed exclusive for
100%.
Series X.
Yes.
Probably a good 2 years, honestly.
I wonder about 2 years. I think 2 years is at a point where it may not sell on the other console. I think 1 year is really just the safe.
Who are we talking about here? How many times did fucking Todd Howard sell Skyrim? On how many different platforms? Throughout how many different years?
All right, listen. I clearly didn't think through what I said. I was wrong. But still, it would be
I semi-believed the Alexia gag because of that as well. I was like, really? He could?
No, like literally, even if it comes out 2 years after it's going to sell on the PS5, people are going to be like, oh, finally, it's on the PS5. For people that just have the PS5 are just going to buy it on the PS5 because they can buy it.
Yeah, you're right. But I still think 2 years is a bad idea. I think 1 year is currently where the player base of the, let's call it the opposing console, feels not most comfortable, but least likely to friggin' riot.
Yeah, maybe.
Because, I mean, 1 year time difference is already an issue for a lot of people.
Honestly speaking, it is rough.
Yeah.
Having that take any more time, I think, again, they can do and they will do whatever they want, but that might not be the way to go about it. Either you put it on one console for a year, or you do not put it on any other console, and you just own that exclusivity. Again, I don't mind. I have a PC. It'll eventually come out. It might be a buggy mess because PC gets no love anymore, but yeah, it's gonna come out.
Yeah. Another Microsoft news. They're apparently going to give GameStop a share of their Xbox digital revenues, which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
How does that work?
Like this really is such a weird story. Ars Technica reported last week that GameStop will in fact share lifetime digital sales revenue of any Xbox console sold through its stores. Mm-hmm. And this includes, obviously, if it's digital, the digital copy of games, DLC, subscription plans, and probably more.
Mm-hmm.
The real question...
Oh, no, you continue.
The real question is just, I mean, why? Why did this happen?
Because GameStop needs money?
Yeah, but Microsoft doesn't.
Well, I mean,
Like,
Microsoft's not getting any money for it.
This only benefits one side.
Dude, okay. You have to think, man. Reggie is on the board of GameStop now.
Yeah.
He's probably like, hey, Phil, do this deal with us.
It would have to be something like that, because honestly, Xbox stands to lose money doing this. Now, and let's be clear here. I've read a bunch of things on this. Some industry analysts are tossing numbers as high as 10%. That's absolutely ridiculous.
That's a lot of money.
Like, realistically, we're probably looking at...
Yeah. Yeah, there were two shareholders arguing about this. Was it Doppierala? I'll say that again. Doppierala and also Chuku Umba. They were all arguing, like the former, suggesting this 10% number that you just said now, and the latter went like, no way, it's certainly must be below even 1%.
Yeah, and I think that's the same. Like, personally, I mean, maybe they get 1%, maybe they get 2%, but that's so much for doing nothing that they weren't going to do without this deal anyway.
Yes.
They might not be losing that much money because, like, you have to think it's digital revenue. So, like, maybe they're just getting money from Game Pass.
Allow me to rephrase this. When I say they're losing money, I never really mean losing money. I mean they're not getting all of the money.
Yeah. I mean, Microsoft never seems like the company that want all the money, though. Like out of all the gaming companies, like in the United States, Microsoft kind of usually doesn't give me the creeps when it comes to monetization.
Don't remember the E3 that the
Xbox
Series One
they had one slip up where they were going to fuck over people with DRM. All right, and then they got clapped for that because Sony was like, "Here, this is how you share games."
It's true.
All right.
I don't know. Microsoft just has a history of making really poor decisions. Like, some of them end up actually being pretty great. Like, I don't think anyone expected Games Pass to do well.
Well, when they start putting all these good games on Game Pass, so that's...
Yeah, I know. But, I mean, Microsoft often makes a lot of bad decisions, too. I don't think this is one of them. If I had to guess, I'd say Microsoft wanted a physical place to push product.
Yeah.
But, like, they didn't want to invest in, like, their own store, and they saw this floundering GameStop as, like, a vessel by which to push Microsoft merchandise.
Oh, honestly, I figure... I think I know how this is going to work, too. I bet you that GameStop employees will get commissions on how many subscriptions of Game Pass that they sell. Because I bet you could buy Game Pass within my GameStop.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Lord knows GameStop employees are forced to push things as it is, right? Why not add one more thing to the list?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, also they thought, like, the investors that were speculating what would happen with this cut. They also suggested maybe that, like, even or is it extend to, like, pre-owned consoles as well, or even old gen consoles, although they said it's most likely only the new consoles coming out that would be affected by this deal.
Yeah, most likely it's just new consoles, because they already stopped making the Xbox One X. So
yeah, but do they deal with, like, exchanging in old?
Oh, like if you
Microsoft doesn't get any portion of that anyway. Like any used products or anything, Microsoft doesn't even like the actual company doesn't actually see. It's always GameStop.
Yeah, maybe that's what the deal includes.
Maybe.
I mean, it's really hard to figure out, like, what the level of this deal is anyway. Neither side is talking about it, and that makes me think it's probably mostly unimportant. Because a deal like this usually would be plastered on, like, every spot that could be advertised on.
Yeah, exactly.
So the fact that they've kept this all very hush-hush either means they have, like, a plan for some huge announcement, which I doubt, or that it's just this tiny little, like, percent of a percent deal.
Though the company's stocks, GameStop, has gone up.
Oh, absolutely.
Since then. So it has benefited them so far.
Short term, and I imagine it will be a short term thing until they go back to what everyone expects. They'll see another. Don't get me wrong. GameStop's going to see another big jump at the launch of next gen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they will.
And then in the next 2 years, we're going to see it flounder right back to where it is now. I'm almost certain of that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah. Well, on the flip side of everything, Sony unveils their user experience, and it looks pretty sweet, honestly.
I have my reservations, but yeah, what do you think about it?
I think it looks pretty smooth. I mean, it's more, I guess, more fluid in the way that it works, unlike what the PS3 with the cross media bar, and then like the PS4 with its home screen. While there's a lot more stuff on it, it doesn't feel like it's probably going to be bogged down by anything. Better yet, the store is not even a store anymore. It's just built into your system. Yeah, thank God you don't have to like load into something. It's literally just on the system.
That was literally the high point for me. I genuinely wish they had gone into more detail on that.
Yeah, they were just like, hey, look, you don't have to actually go into the store. It's just on your system.
And then they just closed.
Yeah, they're just like, okay, well, now back to this. But it showed a lot of things. It showed going from in-game to the home screen. There is a panel that has these activity cards, which shows like trophies that you can get and how far away you're from getting those trophies. It also gives you like a list of like how to actually get like finish these trophies, which is pretty nice. They showed the party system. They also showed how you can watch somebody play another game through the system, which actually looked really nice. And Xbox actually had this until they patched it out, which is the window and window mode. And Xbox users are now like complaining because fucking Microsoft patched it out like a year ago, because they had it to where you could actually watch people while you're like doing stuff on your console. But I don't know why they patched it out. But a lot of Xbox fans are like really mad about it. But you can do that. You can be at a party. You can easily join up. Like they showed loading from going from the game back to the home screen and loading into another into being in a party with somebody else, like actually in the game, and it was really quick.
Wait, my friend, wait.
What?
So you seem to have just been talking and talking. However,
That's amazing.
the Discord had died for both of us, so we didn't hear anything.
Discord, why?
So you know what this episode should be called?
What?
Perpetual disconnection.
Perpetual disconnection. What was the last thing you guys heard?
We were moving away from the store to whatever it is you said next.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that was a lot. I said a
Yeah,
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Oh my god. Okay, anyway, I'll speed say this, alright. They showed activity cards, which shows trophies. They showed the loading between going from in the game to the home screen to going into another game to party with friends, which was snappy quick. They showed the being in a party with people and watching them play another game in window and window mode, which Xbox players actually used to have, but they took it out.
Yeah.
Like a year ago or something like that. So it's really crazy. I mean, it looks really nice. What's your reservations on it, Dalit?
So, yeah, it's funny that you mentioned liking the cards. The cards were the weakest freaking thing for me. I can't wait to be told I can just get rid of them. I mean, the first, I think it was weird for them to start at sort of a preload instead of a fresh one, but that's fine. That's just pacing for me. I would have liked to go straight into the home menu first, which, by the way, is amazing.
They showed it from boot.
They did. They didn't start with that. This is just me being
picky,
essentially. I just didn't like the way they put their thing together. But honestly, I didn't like cards. The cards and the card in-game UI, specifically just that section, were awful for me. The screen seemed cluttered with junk. It looked bothersome to scroll through to get to more practical selections, like the trophies, like the invites, like the parties.
The cards are the trophies.
They're not. You think they are, and you would. I don't blame you for thinking that. There was a completely unique trophies section. The cards are just representative of developer milestones in game,
which most of them are attached.
Which lead to trophies, absolutely, but they are not themselves trophies.
No.
I mean, I don't dislike fundamentally the ideas of the cards. I think they're neat. I think they could be super useful to people, but I never want them popping up in that interface for me. I would much rather be able to get my invitations, messages, trophies, and practically every other content before them. So if I can just choose to have them at the back, wonderful. If I could get them on a sub menu, where if I click a card and it drops down to a completely different menu just for the cards, wonderful. But what I saw there just meant that for me to get to all the stuff I want to get to through the quick select menu, I had to go through all this nonsense. Did not enjoy that. That said, it was lickety split so quick.
Yeah.
Once you were actually clicking on what you wanted. Like, no arguments. Getting from in-game to the home screen to a party, going between things,
going into another
picture,
game to play with
it
people.
was so good.
Yeah.
My goodness, the user experience looks like it's going to be very nice. Like genuinely, the biggest upside to me was the store.
Oh yeah, the biggest upside to me was the store too.
Like there wasn't much to go off of, as they didn't like demonstrate it, and I really think that's a mistake. But like the fact that the store is an integrated feature and not an app is an immediate step in the right direction.
Yep.
If it's as responsive as the rest of that demonstration was, it'll be a real good look for the digital side of things.
Mm-hmm.
I was a bit worried that they didn't do anything in there, though. That makes me feel like that was just for show. But I'd be more than happy to be wrong.
Yeah. I can't wait for it. We still haven't seen. I don't think they've shown the Xbox's user experience yet. But from what I'm hearing,
that's comparable to this.
Well, from what I'm hearing, it's supposed to be very similar to the Xbox One. So
okay,
I don't think we're missing out anything there.
I think the same is good. I think it's a good way just to keep people in the know.
Yeah. Sony released a Black Lives Matter theme yesterday for PS4. It actually looks really cool. Not gonna lie, it does look really cool. Man, did you guys read the comments on that?
No, I know better.
Okay,
no.
Yeah, it's a good thing you didn't.
I know better.
Where they headed, yeah.
There, it was bad, but it's really cool. It's really cool. Like I said, the theme's black and yellow, but it looks really cool.
Yeah, it looked really nice.
But you can download that for free any point in time.
Are they doing anything else to support Black Lives Matter, or are they just doing this shiny thing?
I have no idea.
They
didn't say anything. They were just like, we support Black Lives Matter, and then you guys can download a theme. And I'll probably go and download it later on the night or something. But yeah, it looked really cool. PS5 is also has a spoiler warning now when capturing like pictures and video.
That's so neat.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it's probably gonna be like this super minor bother to people who don't care, but otherwise, like, it's genuinely gonna be nice for people, especially with the new party system.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I wonder though. Oh yeah, actually that would be great with it. But I do wonder, because there are games like Persona 5 that completely stop people from streaming. Will this replace it? Because,
What do you mean?
Oh, like you cannot stream certain parts while you play Persona 5.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's still going on now.
I don't think they took that out. I'm not 100% sure if they took that out or not. But Dalit, in with the PlayStation, there are certain developers can input like certain things that stop recording or streaming from that game from the PlayStation. So like you know how people will just stream from the PlayStation itself.
Yeah,
If
I'm
that
familiar with.
Yes.
if that comes up, then it just stops the stream pretty much, or
Yeah.
like the stream goes to like a different screen.
Yeah. People get around it by doing capture card shenanigans.
Yeah, I'm familiar with this aspect of it. I was more curious as to how this was going to impact the like what you meant in terms of the new feature.
As in, this is a spoiler
replacement.
warning just going to be like instead of there being hey, we're blocking this scene, it's going to be like, hey, there's a spoiler warning.
I hadn't considered that. They made it such a point of fact that this was about pictures. I hadn't considered about actual streaming.
Well, capturing means either taking video or picture.
This is true. I just never did anything based off of the integrated capture system. I had a Elgato, so that's a good question.
I found this is why I didn't stream certain games, because I physically could not, because I didn't have a capture card to run it from my PC.
Yeah. I couldn't stream. What couldn't I stream? There's a game I couldn't stream, and it was a Tales game. I just couldn't stream it because it was blocked. I couldn't couldn't do anything. I was like, well, like the whole game was blocked. It was Zestiria, right? I couldn't stream Zestiria because the whole game was blocked from being played, or like blocked from being streamed from the actual console itself. Other than like these certain sections of the game, which I was like, what the hell's going on? So I had to get a capture card just to do that. But I mean, I'm hoping they stop doing the whole blocking the scenes and just replace it with the spoiler warning.
Yeah, exactly. That's one of my wishes.
But like, here, don't click on this unless you want spoilers for this said game. But who knows? Another thing with the party system is that a patch came out for the PS4 the other day that allows allows party members to record your voice, or you can record your voice. Now it's supposed to be used for reporting, just in case like somebody says something in the party that is not very good.
Which is weird because presumably you're only going to be in a party with friends.
I think this also goes towards like actual in-game chat as well.
Which is what my takeaway was, but then
well, I could shed some light because Catherine Jensen, who is the head of the global consumer experience at PlayStation, wrote a blog to explain. Yep. And it's on the official PlayStation blog webpage as well, so if you want to read yourself. But she said, managing online safety is an important part of ensuring that. We believe it is critical that gamers be able to quickly and accurately report abuse or harassment if they experience it while on PlayStation Network. As part of this initiative, we've been preparing to roll out a new feature on the PS5 console that enables gamers to report verbal harassment through a new voice chat reporting function. This sole purpose is to help in reporting of an inappropriate behavior, including actions that violate our community code of conduct. Please note that this feature will not actively monitor or listen in on your conversations ever, and it's strictly reserved for reporting online abuse or harassment. And then it goes on to explain a little bit more, the blog that is. PlayStation gamers learn about this new function in an unexpected way, because that's how most people found about it. It was like PS4 8.00 system update, and they were like, well, hang about, what is this? Yeah. And she said, we didn't clearly communicate this feature or explain why we were introducing it, and we apologize for that. When the PS5 console launches in November, PS5 users will be able to chat with PS4 users, which is why we needed to include an advisory with the latest PS4 system update. And then it says, it goes to exactly how much they record for and whatnot. Once the PS5 console launches, if a PS5 player needs to file a harassment report, they will be able to include up to 40-second long voice clip in their report. 20 seconds of the main conversation with the other player, plus an additional 10 seconds before and after the conversation selection. Once the most recent 5 minutes of a voice chat will be available for a player to use for this reporting function. So that's how they'll go about it, essentially.
Oh, I mean, now that they've said something, I think the biggest issue is that they just didn't say anything. We had to coax it out of them. But now that the statement has been made, I find it hard. I really find it hard to take an issue with this.
No, it'll be good for people that play Overwatch.
Yeah, I think this is kind of good and bad. Self-policing is probably the right call. You're just able to get more out of it, and they've taken measures to make sure no one is baited into getting banned with the extra time recorded before and after.
Yeah. I mean, the blog goes on to say that the submitted reports will be sent to consumer experience team for moderation.
Good. People looking at this. I mean, look, if you're going to get on and just yell at people and be an overall dickhead, hold that L.
Yeah.
This is good.
Most definitely. I'm actually pretty happy with that. I don't think it's bad. So we will see. And self-policing for the gaming community is definitely the best.
I mean, there are worries that will be, abused, but if it's been sent to a team for moderation, then,
it's not automatic.
Yeah, my only issue is that I worry about the size of that team. Other than that, I'm all for this.
Yeah. And last in our, actually second to last in our news, the first physical PS5 game, according to Gearbox, is actually Godfall. And they showed.
I mean, they would want to toot their own horn, wouldn't they?
I mean, it's Randy Pitchford. What do you expect?
I mean, like, not to be exceedingly mean to them, but
yeah.
Because unfortunately, everything they've shown has taken me from exceedingly hype to kind of wary of that game. This does nothing to help that. It's like you're the first, cool, whatever.
Yeah.
At the moment, if I got a PS5, I'd be way more hype about Demon's Souls.
I mean, Demon's Souls looks like
amazing.
Demon's Souls doesn't look like a next gen game. It looks like a next gen game. That's how good Demon's Souls looks. It doesn't look like a PS5 game. It looks like a PS6 game.
Who was it? Bluepoint working on it?
Yes.
Oh my god, they just need to be quiet. They do so much stuff for them as it is, and god, this looks amazing. But yeah, no. To the point of it, Godfall is apparently, according to Gearbox, going to be the first physical on-disc game release for the PS5.
Well, I think it's the first.
I don't care.
I'm gonna wait a few weeks after Godfall comes out to see how that game plays.
God, I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's as good as I was hoping it was when I first saw it.
Yeah,
but I have my reservations.
I mean, it looks fun. It doesn't look anything too like groundbreaking, but
when I was told that it was essentially going to be an action-oriented looter slasher.
Yeah,
I was like, cool. I'm looking forward to like Devil May Cry meets Diablo, or like Nier meets Diablo, something like that.
No, it's God of War meets Diablo.
And I don't think God of War is the system I would have gone on. It's really slow and it's chunky, and I think for something like this, you'd want it to be faster and you'd want it to be more fluid. That's not to say that this game can't work. It's just kind of slow. And honestly, every trailer they've shown has been not great.
No,
not because of the content, not because of the quality of the content, but because the trailers themselves have just been awful.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, I'll see what it looks like, but yeah. And I'm actually kind of sad about this last bit of news. So just because we got an extra day, we were able to add one more bit of news that would have happened while we were recording. According to Silicon Era, Atelier Ryza 2 will not have a physical edition for PS5. It's going to be purely digital. Like, the physical edition is just being canceled.
So remind me again, Atelier Ryza 2 is a new title. It's not the one that I'm tangentially aware of now.
No, because that's Atelier Ryza 1.
So that's the first game. So this is a new title, and they're just not releasing a physical copy at all.
No.
Oh boy. All right, that's a choice.
Did you give a reason why?
I'm like reading it now. It doesn't seem like it. Koei Tecmo planned to release a physical edition of Atelier Ryza 2 for PS5. The publisher canceled due to various reasons. However, the release of the digital edition of Atelier Ryza 2 will carry on as planned. This includes a previously detailed upgrade program. Those who purchased the PS4 version of Atelier Ryza 2 physical or digital will get an upgrade to the digital PS5 version for free. So, if you want a physical copy of Atelier Ryza 2, just get the PS4 version and you'll automatically get a free version of the PS5. So.
Okay.
I guess that makes sense, I guess. It's less production that they actually have to do. And
it's true, and we have been told from multiple developers and studio heads that production has been hit every bit as hard as development, so...
Yeah. But I think that is all that we have for news this week. And
we did it. We got through.
We got through. The disconnect lords didn't make us go to another day.
Comcast tried, but we made it.
Comcast and Discord.
And Discord, yeah.
Anyway, what are you guys planning on playing this week?
Why'd you ask?
Well, I know I'm going to try to force Dalit to play some Ghost of Tsushima this week. So
no, I really should. Yeah, I really should pop back into that.
I want to see it.
That, and I should also pop in 214 at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, no,
also...
I do intend to do that as well, but I need to just re-up my subscription. I am actually interested in the new stuff.
Oh, yeah. Basha seems pretty
Mostly Genshin Impact, yeah.
Mostly Genshin Impact. I did one pull on the new banner today. And I immediately got the rated up 5-star, so I don't need to pull on that banner ever again. So yeah, I just need to wait for a rate up for a Kaching, and then I'll be good.
Mm-hmm.
And do you know the name of Ice Virgil girl?
Kamisato Ayaka. But don't get your hopes up. She's coming... she's not on any leaked banners that we probably don't want to talk about, and she seems pretty tied to Inazuma, which is a while away.
Okay, well, I'm still looking forward to her.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What about you? You just gonna play Genshin on League?
No, like I said, I'll probably resubscribe to 14 because they just ran out.
Yeah.
And try out the new content, and I'll give an opinion on that from a person that doesn't usually do relic quests and whatnot.
Well, you can do the relic quest completely outside of Bashta, so
wonderful.
So you just do see.
I will continue this tradition of not doing the relic quest.
You have to, for outside of Bashta, you have to collect. Well, even for inside of Bajra, you have to collect 20 pieces. So it's technically 60 pieces of these like forgotten memories, but 20 of each of the three. So it's 60, and then
I'm just very curious about the lore. I'm very curious about the lore.
Well, I'm pretty sure Ethos has a video up.
Oh yeah, most certainly. I've been following what he's been doing.
Yeah. So that looks pretty good. I'll be going ham in there once I get my Dark Knight to 80. So,
yeah, I'm actually quite happy that you can level your jobs too, because I've got a few. I gotta.
Also, what came out today being Tuesday, the second day of us recording this luxurious podcast. The Scourge event for WoW started today, so I don't know if I have to be level 50 to do the event or not, but I either need to get to 50 and do the event, or just get on and do the event. So
Hey, get to it and let us know next week.
the Scourge is attacking all of Azeroth. So
Hmm.
yeah, I think that'll do it for this week, guys. Thank you everybody for listening. And yeah.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for listening. If you like this content and want to see more, please like, favorite, and subscribe. Links to our Twitters are in the description.